Okay, let's speak. Oh, what's up? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello, guys. 6 likes? Wow. We haven't began yet. Alright, well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Tuesday's stream. Hello, guys, hello, welcome, hello. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below, and of course, make sure you guys read that description box down below as well. Alright, so as seen on the title and just the description box, we have pretty much an interesting market moves going on after hours here. So first of all, let's take a look at the overnight futures market, right? So first of all, you can clearly tell there is a lot of volatility, right? I mean, we've been stuck in this range between, I would say, around 5,440 to around 5,540. Okay, and as we kind of range trade between those two ranges there, we continue to see, you know, massive gap ups or just a large move to the upside on one day and then a large move to the downside on another day, like we saw yesterday. And so far today, we've had a nice gap down open, but we have completely filled in that gap and we continue to move up higher. And all of this is happening as we continue to basically move sideways at this daily 50 SMA. Hey, welcome, guys. Oh, looks like everyone's just joining in now. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Wow. Welcome, guys. So what we have here is the price is basically, again, just being magnetized towards this daily 50 SMA. And if you translate this over to SPY, right, SPY, we're seeing the same thing occurring. And so tomorrow, I also wouldn't be surprised if we do decide to close above the daily 50 SMA. And obviously tomorrow is the FOMC rate decision results as well, along with Jerome Powell. And so again, I wouldn't be surprised due to the volatility that we'll be seeing a nice move back to the upside and eventual close at highs, maybe at this resistance area at 547 that we've been seeing on SPY. And if you guys haven't been looking at the intraday price action for the past, I would say 3 to 4 days, including today, you would know that 547 is that intraday level resistance that we continue to reject off of. Now, the daily 10 SMA here, as I've been talking about this specific short-term momentum SMA for quite some time now, is finally caught up to the price. And so that's the reason why today we've basically had that nice rejection at 547 and kind of in the vicinity of the daily 10 SMA's area of influence. So what's occurring here is that the daily 10 SMA will continue to act as a huge area of resistance, SMA resistance, in the short-term time frame for at least a week or so, until we're able to see the price move back over the daily 10 SMA. So retake it and reclaim it and stay over the daily 10 SMA. But that's going to require a lot of work, and it's going to depend on what we see tomorrow and what we hear from Jerome Powell. So if we do want to see that retaking and reclaiming of the daily 10 SMA tomorrow, we need to see a dovish Jerome Powell. We need to hear those dovish words from Jerome Powell himself. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves here, let's take a look at what happened with semiconductors, right? So chip makers, AMD seems to be on the verge of a reversion, right? There could possibly be a mean reversion trade for this one tomorrow as well, and you guys should keep this on your watch list here, and just make sure that you guys are focusing on chip makers here. So, hey, good morning. What's up? hello. I guess it's morning for you over there. Hey, welcome, guys. More people coming in. Awesome. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below as well. So as I was saying here for AMD, first of all, we had this nice pivot today at 134. We saw a nice push up into the close as we head into the quarterly earnings report for AMD. Now, what's interesting about AMD is that on the earnings report itself and during the conference call, they talked about guiding up, right? They actually have created a better outlook for themselves in the near-term future, which they haven't done in the past few quarters. And that's one of the major reasons why AMD was able to react that way after hours, and it's, I believe, around 148 if I'm not mistaken. So AMD here definitely has all the hallmarks and the reasons why it can continue to move on up higher. Now, as the title of the stream says, can AMD and Lisa Su, if you guys don't know who Lisa Su was, that is the amazing CEO of AMD. And if I'm not mistaken, Lisa Su is cousins? I believe she's the cousin with Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of nvda, so or nvda, if you guys want to say it that way too. But so basically, AMD has been basically creating essentially a V-shaped recovery after hours. So if we take in the intraday price action from today for AMD, right, and just trace the after hours price action, right? If I'm able to click this, there we go. Right, we essentially have a very nice V-shaped recovery, right? And we're all the way up to around 148 to 147 at the actual market close. All right, now I don't know the exact price there. I'm not gonna look it up now. It doesn't really matter. All we need to understand and know is that we should be able to find a nice V-shaped recovery coming in for semiconductors. Now, if you want to take a look at the actual semiconductor ETF, the specific one that I look at is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF, or SMH. All right, shake my head. SMH. So yeah, I didn't know that either, but apparently that's the case. I don't know if that's false information, if someone is kind of joking there. But I believe that's the case. I don't know, you guys can look it up for yourself. Yeah, they're first cousins once removed. So that does make them relatives, right? So they're generally in the same family tree, which is pretty interesting. So that entire family is just a generational run of chip makers, legendary chip makers, right? So yeah, it's a pretty awesome fact there. So for SMH, we have seen a huge correction from highs, just like QQQ or NASDAQ. I mean, so the overall tech market has been, and the overall tech groups have been absolutely annihilated to the downside, and some SMH semiconductors have been down nearly 20% from the all-time highs. So it makes sense that we will be seeing a potential bounce, at least a relief bounce that we can participate in for the next 2 to 3 days, especially tomorrow, if overall AMD and even nvda and other semi-leaders are able to hold the gains that they've had overnight in the after hours trading action. And if we do get Jerome Powell's dovish news conference, right, his testament, his opening statement to what he thinks about the overall economy, where they stand with monetary policies and their current benchmark interest rate, or the federal funds rate target. So all of these factors have to come together, which is the reason why it is a very, very hectic and catalyst-filled week, because after hours tomorrow, we also have a bunch of other tech earnings as well. So, you know, just for the rest of this week, if you guys are really just not looking to trade, I wouldn't think that that's a bad idea at all. I would actually highly recommend you guys to not actively trade, unless you guys live for the volatility and you guys are day traders or scalpers. But for me as a swing trader, I want to make sure that I'm just watching carefully, looking to see where the price is able to hold and especially close over specific levels that will determine whether or not I want to be back in this specific, you know, leader or overall tech group, especially if they're looking to have a nice reversal back to the upside. So that's what I'm personally going to be looking out for. But again, I would highly recommend you guys to not be afraid to not do anything, especially tomorrow, since FOMC results are coming out. Okay, and yeah, it is pretty crazy, right? So, for semiconductors, there is a chance that we can see the markets literally being saved, especially NASDAQ, since QQQ futures are also having a wild run back to the upside. It's up nearly 1%, right? It's up 0.88%. That's a pretty big number, right? For an overnight move where we're not even that deep into the night yet, right? We have a long night ahead of us, and the markets have already moved by this much, right? 0.88%. 0.88%. Let that sink in, right? We have a lot more hours left into the night before pre-market trading comes in. So, we're not even at the, I believe, the Asian market open yet either. So this is a rather large move, and it's pretty compelling to see here that the markets are already up this high, but also at the same time, it really highlights the fact that we are seeing volatility, and we should be seeing more volatility as we head into the end of this month, and obviously into tomorrow, which is the end of the month, right? And I also want to talk about not just the fact that the semiconductors can lead once more for a potential recovery and potential reversal in the overall tech markets, but I want to talk about the bond markets. So if you guys didn't know, I am long both the short and long-term bonds, but I am heavily in TLT. And if you guys want to know what the other short-term bonds are, I will make sure to mention that in a couple of more minutes here. But TLT is on the verge of another great breakout. And just from a seasonality standpoint, bonds tend to do well at this time of year. And it can continue to do well into the first rate cut in September. So let me retract that statement. Even if I take out the potential for, or the very high probability potential for a first official rate cut in September, even if I take that catalyst out, bonds tend to do well from now all the way up into September and usually seeps into October. Okay, and so if we just focus on seasonality based on how bond markets do, especially bond prices itself, they tend to do really well from the month of July all the way up into September and all the way up into, I believe, around early October. But I'm gonna keep it conservative, right? Due to the fact that we also have that catalyst of that first rate cut in September. I will say that July to September may be the time to be really heavily invested into bonds. And that's the reason why I have been in TLT ever since this bottom right here. And if you guys remember from my previous live streams and also previous videos, I talked multiple times about this perfect snipe on TLT here, where I literally bought at this day, right? On this day here on July 1st. If you guys don't remember this, make sure you guys go back to my previous streams. Or if you guys do remember, I really talked about this a lot on my Instagram story on that day. I believe a couple days later, if I remember. I think July 3rd or July 3rd. And so, again, perfect snipe. I'm still in this full position, and I've actually added more positions on TLT to get ready for that run from July to September. Now, if you guys are looking to get the shorter dated bond ETFs like IEI, which I've mentioned multiple times, you guys should, because short-term bonds will perform a lot better compared to the longer-term bond ETFs like TLT or the 20-plus year Treasury bond ETF. And so far, IEI has been clearly telling us why that it is the case that the shorter dated bond ETFs will be doing way better, much better. So IEI, again, higher highs, higher lows, very textbook and typical uptrend. And another shorter dated bond ETF is IEF, which is the 7 to 10 year Treasury bond ETF. Remember, IEI is the 3 to 7, and the IEF ticker symbol here is the 7 to 10 year Treasury bond ETF. So both of them are essentially acting the same, and both of these two shorter dated treasury bond ETFs are definitely doing a lot better than TLT. But again, just TLT alone, based on seasonality trends alone, this one should have a nice rocket move up higher into the first official rate cut in September. So again, I am revealing my positions here. I am heavily invested into TLT, and I also have a side position on IEF, the shorter dated treasury bond ETF, or the 7 to 10 year treasury bond ETF. And so if you guys want to know what those current positions are, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram so that you guys can join and become a reader of the CFO Swing and Watch report and simultaneously gain access to the private CFO Discord community where you guys can actually see which position that I have for TLT. Okay, I have multiple positions on TLT that you guys can choose out of, but again, I'm holding all 3 positions on TLT. That's right, I have 3 positions on TLT. So make sure you guys take a look at that. Now, for TLT and just overall bonds tomorrow, everything is going to rely on what Jerome Powell says, because the overall markets are already, well, you guys should have known this by now. I've been saying this for quite some time, since June, and well, actually since May. That the July FOMC meeting will most likely be another pause, and it'll most likely be the last pause before we see the first official rate cut in September. And so even just based on that pause, we should still see another pop in bonds, and bond yields, which move inversely to the bond prices, should crater, and especially they should crater during the news conference if Jerome Powell decides to say that yes, we like everything that we're seeing with the overall economy. It looks like we're aiming for that soft landing. We even saw some very good consumer confidence data today. It seems like the consumer is still a little bit strong, which again, that's a little bit of an iffy topic, kind of a whipsaw topic for the overall Federal Reserve. All right, they've been kind of wishy-washy on that topic as well. So you know, it's good and bad. They're looking for that soft landing. They don't want to induce a recession to have that overall goals for their inflation target at 2%, and overall their target for the labor market as well, the very tight labor market, which has been loosening up. I mean, we've been seeing the unemployment rate ticking up higher and over 4% now. So that's also something that they will probably mention tomorrow. So again, just overall, all of these factors will come into play, especially if you guys are long, you know, bonds like me. Both of the shorter dated and longer dated bond ETFs, the treasury bond ETFs. Hey, what's up, Hugo? What's up, what's up? So make sure you guys are understanding where I'm coming from when I'm saying that I'm heavily invested in TLT and also IEF. All right, so IEF is the side position, but I am in TLT. I have multiple positions on TLT. And there's a good reason that you guys should be in TLT based on seasonality trends, and also what bond markets are going to expect as we head into tomorrow's FOMC rate decision results and into the September FOMC meeting. Okay, now last but not least, another great market cap to be looking at other than QQQ and SPY is obviously IWM. I've been really just hailing this market cap as one of the greatest trades so far this year, because again, me and my members have nailed this IWM trade. If you guys didn't know, I was really just going in on IWM right around the $200 magnetic whole number level support, and we are continuously buying even if it dipped slightly below this $200 level. And guess what? It officially paid off as we had a nice 400% plus return on this move. right? And so far, we've been consolidating exactly the way that I envisioned IWM to consolidate. Yes, we did make a flag. Yes, we popped over the flag, but now we're actually still continuously moving sideways. And this is exactly what we want to see. I mean, it's quite picture perfect. If we take a look on the weekly time frame, these weekly candlesticks are absolutely amazing. These are just blasting candlesticks to the upside that will eventually lead into more upside possibilities in the near-term future. When I say near-term future, I mean from now to the end of this year, right? And we have less than half of this year left. And so IWM should definitely be in your guys' watch list, or if it isn't in your positions yet, or as it, well, for me, it's a core position. But if you guys don't have a core position on this, if this market cap isn't your major holding on your accounts, on any accounts, you guys are missing out. You guys have already missed out on the first initial run. Again, we were in this back around here, right? So I believe it was this week and this week. Okay, and we absolutely nailed it. Yes, Hugo, we've been on point with IWM. You would know since you're a CFO Single Watch report reader and also a private CFO Discord member, right? So guys, if you guys are wanting to grab the live positions that we have right now for IWM, or even just on the simple bonds, right? The shorter dated and longer dated bond treasury ETFs, or treasury bond ETFs, my apologies. Make sure you guys become a CFO Single Watch reader and become a member of the private CFO Discord. If you guys message me on Instagram right now, DM me right now on Instagram at chartsfocus1, which is my handle for Instagram and also for Twitter or X if you guys use that platform. Make sure you guys message me and I'll give you guys a 50% off discount code for your first 30 days. Trust me, it is worth it. For anyone who's watching this who is a reader or a member, make sure you guys let everyone know that it's worth it, because it is. I'm not even downplaying anything, right? So far this entire year and even last year, we've been absolutely on point with all the plays. And if it did not play out, we always had our stop losses. We've always known the actual 3-point game plan, as we always do, and every single week with every single swing trade idea, especially in the CFO Single Watch report. Okay, so IWM, TLT, IEF, IEI, they're all gonna be in my eyesight tomorrow, because you need to have them in your eyesights tomorrow based on how the overall markets react to these overall semiconductor reactions to AMD, right? So we need to see if the overall leaders are able to hold this overnight price action, and also the reaction, the very bullish reaction from AMD. Because again, if semiconductors start leading again, then the overall tech market will begin to slowly follow its leaders, right? Which is semiconductors and software stocks. And on top of that, tomorrow we have FOMC. Our FOMC meeting is very, very important, because the rate decision results and whatever they have talked about will be important and will be discussed by Jerome Powell tomorrow during the news conference. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. All right. So, hey, Hugo, thank you so much. That is it for tonight, guys. I mean, literally, you guys should be listening to what I'm saying for the past couple of weeks and past couple of months. You guys will know that we have been absolutely on point with every single thing that I've talked about, and we've honed in on and we've executed on. And we've been keeping the winners big and losers small, right? Hey, thank you guys for the reactions there. Thank you. So again, if you guys want to join, this is your night to join, all right, before the craziness that occurs tomorrow and for the rest of this week, as we get the peak of earnings season hitting us by Friday. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I really don't have much to talk about tonight, other than what I've talked about during this entire live stream, make sure you guys, again, watch the previous streams and previous videos. I've talked a lot about IWM, a lot about bonds, and just the overall sentiment on what's going on with the overall markets, especially the market leaders like the S&P 500 and NASDAQ itself, right? We've also caught that perfect top on NASDAQ. Obviously, we could have gone a little bit more and swung more on, those Apple puts that we got. We actually executed those really perfectly on Apple puts, and we caught that market top. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. We could have held those longer, and we would be a lot more in profit with those Apple put short, whatever you guys want to call it, puts or shorts, same thing, right? Synonymous names. They mean the same thing. That swing trade would have been a lot more in profits if we have held. But again, all that matters is that our analysis has been working so far, and it should continue to work as we see the overall strength in small and mid caps, or the overall laggards in the overall market, while the overall leaders have continued to see overall weakness like we saw today. All right. Okay, so I'll see you guys on Thursday at the same time at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once more, if you guys really want to join by tonight, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram at ChartsFocus1. It's one word, at ChartsFocus1, just like you see on YouTube here, right? ChartsFocus1. And for anyone who's new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys found all of this information very, very useful and most importantly, applicable. And also, if you guys do subscribe, make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well, so that you guys know when I have uploaded a new video and that it shows up on your timelines, and also when I am live, right? So you guys are notified when I am live. All right, so make sure you guys, again, hit me up on Instagram and get that 50% discount code for your first 30 days. I guarantee you guys, you will not be disappointed. Just like Hugo said, it's definitely worth it, and it's a great community as well. All right, have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys on Thursday, and good luck tomorrow.